Good morning, students. Welcome to Social Science class. Class 8th, Geography, Unit 3, Hydrologic Cycle. Students, do you know the uses of water? Yes, water is one of the most important elements on earth. Without water, life cannot exist. All plants and animals need water for survival. Not only plants and animals, we also need water for survival. Apart from drinking, water is required for domestic purpose, agriculture purpose, industrial purposes, etc. Water is very essential for carrying out almost all economic activities. Every economic activity depends on water. So, water is an indispensable element without which life form on the earth is not possible. Indispensable means unavoidable elements. So, these are all the uses of water. So, children, as we all know, earth is called as blue planet. Why it is called blue planet? Because about 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water. How many percentage of earth is covered by water? 71%. The quantity of water present on the earth is about 326 million cubic miles. That is an area covered by water. It is hard to visualize this massive quantity of water. Hence, Earth is called blue planet. Most of the water on Earth is saline, that is salt, and is found in seas and oceans. The salt water constitutes about 97.2% and the fresh water is only about 2.8%. Out of this 2.8%, about 2.2% is available as surface water and the remaining 0.6% as groundwater. How many percentage of water is salt water? 97.2%. The fresh water is only 2.8%. Out of this 2.8% of fresh water, 2.2% is available as surface water. The remaining 0.6% as groundwater. From this 2.2% of surface water, 2.15% is available in the form of glaciers and ice caps. 0.01% in lakes and streams and the remaining 0.04% is in the other forms. Only about 0.25% of the total groundwater of 0.6% can be economically extracted with the present drilling technology. So, water resources are useful or potentially useful to humans. Water in India is available in three sources. They are precipitation, surface water, and groundwater. What are the sources of water? There are three sources of water. They are precipitation, surface water, and groundwater. Okay, students, I hope you are clear with this. Now, we are going to know about hydrologic cycle or water cycle. What is meant by hydrology? Hydrology is a science which deals with the various aspects of water, such as its occurrence, distribution, and movement, and properties on the planet Earth. Availability of water on the Earth is not uniform. It will be differ from place to place. Some places are very rich and some places are poor in water resources. So, hydrologic cycle is a global sun-driven process where water is transported from oceans to atmosphere, from atmosphere to land, and from land back to oceans. This is called hydrologic cycle or water cycle. So the water cycle can be considered as a closed system for the earth. So the water cycle can be considered as a closed system for the earth. Hydrologic cycle is a circulation of water. Hydrologic cycle is a circulation of water. It is a continuous process and takes place naturally. The three important bases of the hydrologic cycle are evapotranspiration, precipitation, and runoff. What are the three important bases of the hydrologic cycle? Evapotranspiration, precipitation, and runoff. Now we are going to see about the components of hydrologic cycle. There are 6 main components in hydrologic cycle. They are evapotranspiration, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, percolation, and runoff. These are the 6 main components in hydrologic cycle. Now I am going to explain one by one. The first one is evapotranspiration. What is meant by evapotranspiration? Which means it refers to the water lost through evaporation from the water bodies and transpiration from vegetation. In Tamil, ஆவி ஈர்ப்பு. That is called evapotranspiration. It is the total loss of water from the earth. It is the total loss of water from the earth through evaporation from the surface water bodies and the transpiration from vegetation. Evaporation from surface water bodies and the transpiration from vegetation. In grabbed area, it is difficult to determine the evaporation and the transpiration separately. Therefore, it is collectively called evapotranspiration. Now, evaporation. Evaporation refers to the process in which the liquid form of water changes into gaseous form. Evaporation means the process in which the liquid form of water changes into gaseous form. The atmosphere gets nearly 90% of moisture from the oceans, seas, lakes and rivers through evaporation and 10% of the moisture from plants through transpiration. So this is called evapotranspiration. The rate of evaporation is low during the period of calm winds than during windy times. Compared to windy times, during the calm winds, the rate of evaporation is low. When the air is calm, evaporated water tends to stay close to the water body. During the windy, the water vapor is driven away and is replaced by dry air, which facilitates additional evaporation. Students, do you know the rate of evaporation increases with increase in wind speed, increase in temperature, decrease in humidity, and increase in areal extent of surface water bodies. Now, transpiration. Transpiration means evaporation of water from the plant. Transpiration means evaporation of water from the plant. Transpiration refers to the process by which the water content in the plants are released into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. The rate of transpiration is also affected by the temperature, wind, and humidity. The next one, condensation. It is the process in which the gaseous form of water changes into liquid form. Condensation refers to the process which the gaseous form of water changes into liquid form. Evaporation means a liquid form of water changes into gaseous form. But in here, condensation means it is a process in which the gaseous form of water changes into liquid form. So the condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Condensation is the opposite of evaporation. The forms of condensation: dew, frost, fog, mist, and clouds are the different forms of condensation. Dew. It is a water droplet formed by the condensation of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object. It is called dew. And then frost. The ice crystals formed by deposition of water vapor on a relatively cold surface of an object is known as frost. The third one is fog. Fog is the suspended tiny water droplets, small water droplets or ice crystals in an air layer next to the earth's surface that reduces the visibility to 1000 meter or lower. And then mist. Mist is the tiny droplets of water hanging in the air. The last one, clouds. Clouds consist of tiny water droplets or ice particles which are so small and light in weight. Clouds are formed by microscopic drops of water or by small ice crystals. And then, do you know, condensation occurs when air gets saturated. Warm air can hold more water vapor than the cool air. Warm air can hold more water vapor than the cool air. Saturation occurs when the temperature drops down. During that time only the saturation occurs. Okay. And then precipitation. Precipitation refers to all forms of water that fall from clouds and reaches the earth's surface. For the occurrence of precipitation, cloud droplets or ice crystals must grow heavy enough to fall through the air. When the droplets grow large in size, they tend to fall. While moving down, by collecting some small droplets, they become heavy enough to fall out of the cloud as raindrops. Now, the forms of precipitation. The form of precipitation in a region depends on the kind of weather or the climate of the region. The precipitation in the warmer parts of the world is always in the form of rain or drizzle. In colder regions, precipitation may fall as snow or ice. Common types of precipitation are rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail, and snow. What is meant by rain? The precipitation in the form of water. Droplets is called rain. The precipitation in the form of water droplets is called rain. And then sleet. Sleet means a mixture of rain or snow. A mixture of rain or snow. And then freezing rain. Freezing rain means sometimes raindrops falling through cold air near the ground to not freeze in the air. Sometimes raindrops falling through cold air near the ground do not freeze in the air. Instead, the raindrops freeze when they touch a cold surface. This is called freezing rain. And then hail. Hail means a small pieces of ice falling from the sky. Small pieces of ice falling from the sky. In Tamil, Alangatti Malai. Okay. And then the last one, snow. Snow means the frozen crystalline state of water that falls as precipitation. And then infiltration. What is meant by infiltration? The seepage of water into soil or rock. That is in water circulation. Okay, the seepage of water into soil or rock. Water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. Water entering the soil at the surface of the ground is termed as infiltration. Infiltration allows the soil temporarily to store water, making it available for plants' use and organisms in the soil. Infiltration is an important process where rainwater soaks into the ground through the soil and underlying rock layers. The terms infiltration and percolation are often used interchangeably. Now, percolation. Percolation is the downward movement of infiltrated water. What is meant by percolation? The slow movement of water through the pores in soil. The slow movement of water through the pores in soil. That is called percolation. The percolation is the downward movement of infiltrated water through soil and rock layers. Infiltration occurs near the surface of the soil and delivers water from the surface into the soil and plant root zones. But the percolation moves the infiltrated water through the soil profile and rock layers, which leads to the formation of groundwater or become a part of subsurface runoff process. The last one is runoff. What is meant by runoff? It is overflow. A runoff is the water that is pulled by gravity across land surface. Runoff is the water that is pulled by gravity across land surface. It comes from unabsorbed water from rain, snow melt, irrigation, and other sources, comprising a significant element in the water cycle as well as the water supply when it drains into a watershed. Runoff is also a major contributor to the erosion. The rate of runoff that can happen depends on the amount of rainfall, porosity of soil, vegetation, and slope. Only about 35% of precipitation ends up in the sea or ocean, and the other 65% is absorbed into the soil. There are three types of runoff based on the time interval between the distance of rainfall and generation. The runoff may be classified into three types. They are surface runoff, subsurface runoff, the last one base flow. Surface runoff means it is the portion of rainfall which enters the stream immediately after the rainfall. It occurs when the rainfall is longer, heavier, and exceeds the rate of infiltration. That is called surface runoff. And then second type is subsurface runoff, which means the water that has entered the subsoil and moves laterally without joining the water table to the streams, rivers, or oceans is known as subsurface runoff. The third one is phase flow. It is a flow of underground water from a saturated groundwater zone to a water canal. Okay students, I hope you are all clear with this topic. Shall we recall now? Yes. Water is one of the most important elements on earth. All plants and animals need water for survival. Not only plants and animals, as a human being, we also need water for survival. And then, how many percentage of earth surface is covered by water? 71% of earth is covered by water. Out of this, only 2.8% is fresh water. And the remaining 97.2% is salty water found in seas and oceans. And then hydrological cycle is a global sun-driven process where water is transported from oceans to atmosphere, from atmosphere to land, and from land back to oceans. That is called hydrologic cycle or water cycle. And then how many types of components in hydrologic cycle? There are 6 main components. In hydrologic cycle, they are evapotranspiration, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, percolation, and runoff. The precipitation in the warmer parts of the world is in the form of rain and drizzle. The common type of precipitation include rain, sleet, freezing rain, hail, and snow. And then infiltration. Infiltration occurs near the surface of the soil and delivers water from the surface into the soil. And plant rooting zone. Percolation moves it through the soil profile and rock layers to form groundwater. Okay children, I hope you are all clear with this lesson. Thank you.